I'm the Magpie, and welcome to my official video for the Weird version 2. So in this video, we are going to explore Weird. We are going to go through all of the controls and we're gonna experiment with sounds. But I'm also going to show you and talk a little bit about how it works. So there's going to be timestamps or chapters here in this video, so you can click your way through wherever you want to go. Before we jump straight into going through the controls, however, I want to say that there's a link in the description to magpiepedals.com where you can pick up one of these very, very peculiar pedals for yourself to experiment with. But yes, Weird is very weird. It's a PT2399 delay where the time parameter is controlled by your audio input, meaning that when it's louder, you get a longer delay. When it's lower volume, you get a shorter delay, and everything in between. To get me started with exploring this and showing it to you, I'm going to use a synthesizer, and then I'm gonna move over to guitar. I'm gonna show you some tricks. There's a trick hole here. Yes, is what I'm getting at. I'm gonna show you what that hole is all about. And then we're gonna move on to listening to Bassmaster Andreas, who explored it for, that was the first time him trying it out. So there's going to be sounds, I guess is what I'm saying. But jumping into the controls, we have a mix knob, we have a feedback knob, we have a time knob, and then we have a star knob. And the star knob helps you take control over how much of your audio input affects the time. You can turn the pedal on and off, and it utilizes the triple bypass system that I came up with together with Analog Weapon, where you have 3 different modes for turning the pedal on and off. So you can turn it on, and you can turn it off. But if you hold this button, then it's on for however long you decide to hold it, or off for however long you decide to hold it. And that's not only it, because you can also enter what is known as the tap tempo bypass mode, where it will simply turn on and off by itself in whatever tempo you decide to tap in. The exit tap tempo bypass, you simply hold the button and you're back to being on. And as you can see here, on the version 2, we have an extra LED that indicates, it gives you like a visual representation, because it's an RGB LED, so it will show you, based on its color, how much effect we are having to mess with the time. And you get those really weird pullbacks, Those are really, really cool, because it can be like an octave. The more drastically you are affecting the delay in length, the longer it is when you have audio, the more drastically it's gonna go back when it's silent. So with something like a guitar, it becomes very, very dynamic with what you play. And we're gonna move over to that in just a second, but at first I want to talk about this hole. So this hole is a hole where you can input another audio source, a separate audio source that will then take care of all of the time affecting instead of your input that is being affected by what's going on with the delay. So we input something, and then so it's actually synced to the sequencer, because I'm using a drum machine. So I've just taken one of those drum sounds. This is like my favorite recent experiment to do, because if we then introduce some drums also. So you can definitely do weird stuff with it. I'm gonna move over to playing guitar through it. and maybe syncing that up to drums as well. We will see. And then you will get to hear how it sounded when Bassmaster Andreas played with it also. But yeah, let me show you just really quickly before I only play and don't talk. Those like time stops, like playing with the volume. It's really bonkers. So, welcome back to the table. I do want to end these videos with showing you a bit of how it looks on the inside. I'm realizing now that weird is not to be put upside down. Glorious. First of all, I want to say a huge shout out to Analog Weapon, my co-host and dear friend, co-host of the Almost Viral podcast, which is also linked in the description. He has helped me develop everything, like especially the triple bypass, but much other things also in regards to all of the new Magpie pedals, and we intend to talk about that on the podcast and go through each and every pedal. So go there. However, he and I, primarily him, developed these little microcontrollers that take charge of the triple bypass system. That is such an integral part of what's fun with the new Magpie pedals. And what that one does is that it simply controls this relay switch over here that just lets the signal straight through it, from jack through relay to jack. Whenever it's, when it's not even powered up, the signal is just naturally latched on. So it's a very true bypass. But as soon as you plug in power, the microcontroller will help you turn the pedal on and off. And that's what's letting us do all of the funny tap tempo bypass type stuff. And the relay also sounds amazing. Very personal opinion, maybe, but maybe some people will feel like it's annoying to have a ticking pedal on your pedal board. Then simply don't use the triple bypass. Use everything else. Anyways, other than that, with Weird, basically what's going on is that you have this Vectral here with an RGB LED actually, and now with no audio coming in, it's actually lighting up quite interestingly. And that one is just mirrored to the outside. So the same stuff is going on the inside as is over here on the outside. That's just how I decided to design that, because I wanted to get that visual representation on the outside. So in V1 the same thing is going on the inside, but I have now decided to, and this you probably don't know because you maybe haven't seen the inside of the first version, but underneath these Molex connectors that you can see here, there's this huge, I mean for this size of a pedal I guess, huge capacitor over here that charges up whenever you play, so you get a bit more of a tail when the signal is dropping off, to just get even more out of your weird effects. Then of course we have the breaking jack up here that simply breaks the signal whenever you plug in an audio signal in here, and lets that signal alone control the effect, because somewhere around here somewhere the signal is already being split to at one end go and affect what's going on with this one, to mess with the weirdness of what's going on, and the other one simply goes through the PT2399 delay. And there are a couple of other shenanigans going on, but I'm gonna save that for the podcast episode. Right now I just primarily wanna brag about how neat and cool it is. As you can see, I put like all caps like that, all the resistors above that, and then crick, crick. I just tried to really optimize the build process for myself, since I am the one having to stick all of the components in there and then solder them. So I do intend to record videos of building all of these pedals, so you can get a bit more of insight in what that's all about. Other than that, I don't think I want to touch on anything else in regards to weird. So I'm just gonna say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you when you have one of these yourself, so we can sort of bond over how weird it is. That would be really dope. So thank you if you're one of the ones I could bond with, because it's very human to bond, and it's important for our future.